Well, hello everybody and welcome to Long Beach, California, where we are looking at the Carnival Radiance. So come along for the journey as we explore the Carnival Radiance out of Long Beach, California. As usual, we are driving out to the Long Beach terminal because when you live in Southern California, all you have to do is drive west and eventually you're going to hit the water. In this video, we're going to take you to board the Carnival Radiance. We're going to show you the answer to the all-important questions of what this ship is like and why or why not this ship might be a good fit for you. First of all, to get to the Long Beach terminal, all you have to do is follow the sign to the Queen Mary. The Queen Mary dock is right next to the Long Beach terminal block, but the parking lot is not the same, so when you get to that part, make sure you go to the right and get your ticket. Parking is $23 a day. We are here in downtown Long Beach cruise port. Somebody came by a helicopter, so that's cool. That's a helicopter that came in, and we are here for the Carnival Radiance. It's in port. It's about 12:30. We get a later time is what we do. That way, as you can see, there's no lines, so we don't have to wait. We're literally not gonna have to wait on any lines, so it's nice. And the cruise ship is ready to go. We just got to get on it. There we can see the Queen Mary, which just reopened like last week. It's got some nice paint on it. There's still a little bit of a rough patch on it, but it's still nice. Here's the check-in dome. And then another shot of the Radiance right there. Interesting, when you come for a later arrival time, they have the arrival times for like 10:30 to 12, but then after that, they're just like, whoever wants to come. There's no line here. So you just walk right in when you come for the late arrival time. The people on the cruise just barely started actually going on the ship at 12, so we're fine. We are here at the waiting room, which has nobody because we can walk right on to the cruise ship right now. If you have checked luggage, make sure that you give it to the porters before you go into the dome. Inside the dome, make sure you have all your documents and all the luggage that you want to carry on. The Radiance does what is called a closed loop cruise, which means you can sail with either your passport or your birth certificate and a photo ID. But I suggest that you bring your passport because it makes it easier when you get off the ship. But you can see, if you have big bags, you don't want to be rolling up your big bags up these ramps. You gotta go back and forth, back and forth. The Radiance is also known as a weekend cruise ship because it does 3 and 4 day sailings. Sometimes it goes to Catalina Island, but it will always go to Ensenada, Mexico. The cruises on this ship are cheap. Sometimes you can get them as low as $150. This attracts a lot of locals like myself looking for a quick getaway cruise. A lot of first-time cruisers and a lot of kids. The first thing you need to do on this ship is find your muster station and check in. The ship cannot sail without everyone going to the muster station. I call it the mustard station, but nobody likes that. Anyways, for me it was simple. I was assigned the liquid lounge, I watched a guy put on a life jacket, and I was free to go to my cabin. The next thing I did on the Carnival Radiance was go to my room. Also known as a cabin, I had originally booked an interior room, but I took advantage of a very generous offer and it ended up in a Balcony Club 9 suite. I probably should say that I was not paid in any way for this cruise, but the circumstances of that upgrade were very interesting. I have a whole video about my cabin, and if you want to see it, I'll show you here in the link that video. But for this video, I'll just give you a brief overview in saying that the Carnival Radiance used to be the Carnival Victory, but in 2020, it underwent a $200 million refurbishment. I was given a book that showed what it used to look like when it was called the Carnival Victory, and I have to say it has changed a lot. So much in my opinion that it really isn't the same ship that it once was. One of the primary changes were the rooms. The hallways are now ADA compliant, and I saw scooters and wheelchairs going through with no problems at all. The room was very well laid out. It had good closet space, and what I really enjoyed was the fact that our room had not only a 220 volt, which is a European one, but a 120 volt, which is the standard US plug, but it also had 2 USB plugs, so that is really good. I love it when there are USB ports on a ship. That is a really good thing these days because you don't see it too often, especially on the West Coast. Tested out the Wi-Fi on the ship and it was fast. We're about 30 megabytes per second download and 30 megabytes per second upload, which was great. I did a live stream with video from Ensenada, Mexico, and I had no problems broadcasting. Nobody complained about the video quality, so I thought that was really good, and I was taking comments, so I thought the speed was really good under the premium package. But you do have to pay for the premium package. It was like $70 for the 3 days that I was on the ship. Each room is assigned a cabin steward, and they will clean your room once a day. On your first day, you can pick whether or not you want to do the morning or afternoon. I personally picked the afternoon service because I like having the turn down service. I like them getting the room ready for the end of the day. And really, I don't go on cruises to stay in the cabins. Now, with a Club 9 balcony suite room, I probably stayed in the cabin more than I normally would. But normally, I don't stay in the cabin. I like to be out on the Lido deck looking where all the action is and the entertainment. So, turn down cleanup service is better for me. But I will say, and the cabin steward did say that if you are messy, you can have them come in more than once a day. But I hope that if you do that, you're tipping your waiter a little bit extra because that's extra service. Usually the cleanup now on the turn down you can have it in the morning or the afternoon. They'll fix your room and clean it up, but once a day is the new standard on Carnival ships. The Carnival Radiance is what I would call a medium-sized ship. And it's really easy to walk around on the ship. I didn't have any problems finding what I was looking for. But you do need to know that only on deck 9, which is the Lido deck, and deck 5, which is where most of the entertainment is, those are the only 2 decks that you can go all the way through the ship. Otherwise, I found that you're going up and down. This becomes especially important because on deck 4 is where the 2 restaurants is. There's one restaurant called the Sunrise and the Sunset. The Sunset is in the back of the ship. The aft of the ship is what they call that. And the Sunrise is more towards the middle of the ship. And you can't get to the 2 restaurants without going through deck 5 or walking across on 9. I guess you could go underneath on some of the decks below, but you would be going through all the rooms. So that's one option. But if the rooms are closed for some reason, you're not going through those rooms. So deck 5 and 9 are the main ones that you go through. So talking about restaurants, even though you're sailing on a ship for 6 days, less than 6 days, and therefore you will not be getting your lobster, which by the way, cruise lobster is not that very good and it's tiny. Yeah, I said that. Don't think that you're gonna be losing out on the food because the prime rib that I did get in the dining room, which by the way was included in the price, that was really good. One of my guilty pleasures on cruises is I like to go to the sit-down restaurants and I'll order fresh eggs Benedict every morning, every single day. That's just my thing. I love to do that. You can get eggs Benedict in the buffet, but you can't get the runny yolks, and that's what I like. I like the runny yolks in my eggs. That's my thing. I like to go to that, and you can't get that at the buffet, so you gotta go to the sit-down restaurant. But some people don't like the time that the sit-down restaurant takes, and that's true. Like, if you're gonna go to the sit-down restaurant, you should expect that you're gonna be there for at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half to get a full meal, meaning that you're gonna get your appetizer, main course, and then dessert. Because it's Carnival, and they like to dance in the middle of the show, middle of the sit-down service. So that's something that happens in Carnival Cruise Lines. So the buffet is an option. And I have to say here that I've heard a lot of bad reviews about Carnival buffets, but I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say that the buffet on the Radiance was really good. It was small, but it was a really good buffet. I enjoyed it. They always had a variety of good food there. Usually it was self-service versions of the sit-down restaurant, but there was always a vegetarian option, a gluten-free option, there was fruit, there was salad, there's 3 soft-serve ice cream machines, and I didn't even see any lines at the soft-serve ice cream machines, so that was good, and they were working. So that's better than McDonald's, because we all know that at McDonald's you're never going to get soft-serve there. Plus, I am a big fan of Chocolate Day. If you don't know, on Carnival ships, they have what's called Chocolate Day, and then they bring out like 8 different chocolate cakes, and you can try them all. It was awesome. I love Chocolate Day. Whoever invented Chocolate Day on the Carnival cruise ships, kudos to you, because that was amazing. I love Chocolate Day on Carnival Cruise Lines. But if that's not enough, there are even more restaurants that are included for the price. There's the deli. There is the Pizzeria del Capitano, so you can get your pizza. You can also pay to do this. There's a seafood shack and a sushi bonsai service. Those are pay. Oh, and there's also the Guy Fieri burger place that has the smash burgers. I'm not into smash burgers. I like big, thick burgers. I don't like when they smash them. I like when it's big and thick. But if you like Guy Fieri burgers, they have that on the ship. And my new favorite, I have to say, was the Shack's Chicken Shack. Shack is the sponsor for Carnival Cruise Line. He is the entertainment ambassador, and his mom is the godmother for the Carnival Radiance. And the Shack's Chicken place, I've heard that it's also on the Mardi Gras, so if you go on the Mardi Gras, you can go there too, is really good. That is some good chicken. If you have a chance to go to Shack's Chicken Shack, either here in California, because that's where Shack's Chicken Shack is from, or on the Carnival Mardi Gras, or better yet, on the Carnival Radiance, you gotta try it out. That is some good chicken. You can get a chicken sandwich. Oh, and don't forget, the Blue Iguana was free too. So the Blue Iguana, you can get arepas. That was my wife's favorite. She liked going and getting arepas, which is Venezuelan breakfast. It's kind of like an egg corn pancake. They also have burritos for lunch there. So there's also Blue. There's so many free options. I really don't understand. You can pay for food. Like I said, there's the seafood shack. There's the sushi bonsai place. There's Fahrenheit 455. But you can't tell me that the steaks in Fahrenheit are better than what you're going to get in LA. I'm just not so sure. So I've never been to the paid options, and I just don't feel like I need to go to the food options because there's so many free food. And if you go hungry on a Carnival cruise ship, well then bad on you, because there was so many options. So many options. So don't go hungry on a cruise ship. It's just not something that you need to do. Talking earlier about the layout of the ship, and it's really easy to get around on the Carnival Radiance. There are several pools on the ship. So there's the main pool on deck 9, and there's 4 different jacuzzis. There's a splash pad with slides. There's a ropes course on deck 11. There are kids zones, so the kids can play at the kids zone. There's miniature golf on the ship. And then if you're an adult and don't want to hang out with the kids, in the back section on deck 11, there's the Serenity area with another set of 2 spas there, and you can get away from the kids there. So there's plenty of different spots to get on the Carnival Radiance. Being a weekend cruise, they tend to book out, but I never felt like I was crowded on the Carnival Radiance. Down on deck 5, you'll find most of your entertainment. That's where the casino is, where the piano bar is. You'll also see one of the entrances to the lounges. They have a nice atrium, a beautiful atrium with, it's kind of old school elevator. And what was funny to me, okay, so they refurbished the entire ship on the Carnival Radiance. But if you go to the atrium on deck 5 and 4, they still have like the old school picture. So like on Carnival Panorama, they don't display the pictures, but on the Carnival Radiance, they do. So every day when they take the pictures, they'll put a printed version out on deck 5. And it's hilarious. I didn't buy any pictures when I was on the Carnival Radiance, but I really liked going down the hallway and seeing all the strange pictures that other people took, especially the ones that have the pirate in the restaurant. That was pretty funny. So other than looking at people's photos that are not yours, there's plenty of other entertainment options. Like I mentioned, on deck 5, there's the piano bar, but also on deck 4, in between the 2 restaurants, is the Comedy Punchliner Club. They will have a PG show. The first show will be a PG version, so that'll be the clean family rated show. And then at night, they'll do the R-rated version. I like the comedy shows. They were pretty good. Although one of the comedians said that our cruise was the Section 8 cruise. So I thought that was funny. He was insulting us, and it was funny at the same time. And I'll take the title. Carnival Radiance can be the Section 8 cruise. That's okay. It's not a rich cruise. It's not an elegant cruise. If you're looking for elegance, the Carnival Radiance is not your cruise. If you're looking for somewhere where you can just relax, have fun, party a lot, there's a lot of music on this ship, then the Carnival Radiance is going to be. And let's face it, it's a cheap cruise. It's 3 to 4 days. People are not there to be serious. They're there to have fun. It's a fun ship. That's what they do on the Carnival. It's the fun ship. If you want something more fancy, you might want to try like maybe Princess Cruise Line is part of the Carnival Corporation, and they're a little bit more fancy. And they have a better horn than the Carnival Radiance, but that's a whole different story. If you want to hear the horn, that's a short coming up soon. So look for that also. But anyways, as far as entertainment goes, you have the piano bar and you have the comedy club, and you actually have the Limelight Lounge, which is smaller than it used to be, but it's still pretty big. They do a lot of bingo in there. They do a lot of trivia in there as well. But at night, they do have a dance troupe there, and they do 2 Broadway-style musicals. The 2 Broadway-style musicals that I saw when I was on board was one called Soulful, which was really good. That was a good one. Soulful, I had not seen that one before. And then they had Rock Revolution, which is one that I did see before on the Panorama. So those are the 2. You'll have 2 good shows, and I enjoyed those thoroughly. Plenty of drink options. I'm not a drinker, but if you like to drink, there's plenty of drink bar packages. I'm sure you can look at that up. There's the Cheers package that people get. There's also another package called the Bubbles package that you can get. And that is just soda on the ship. I don't get either package when I'm on the ship. Don't get the Bubbles or the Cheers package. What you were entitled to is coffee, hot chocolate, milk, juice, and lemonade. And that was good enough for me. I don't drink a lot of soda, so for me, I didn't need any of the drink packages. So I went without the drink package, and having hot chocolate, lemonade, juice, apple juice was my big thing. I like lots of apple juice, and they had lots of apple juice. So I didn't feel like I was without on that, and then plenty of water on the ship. So you will probably only have 2 port excursions at most on the Carnival Radiance, Catalina Island and then Ensenada. And depending on the day that you go, the excursions change. On Catalina Island, I would suggest maybe going to look at the buffalo there. The buffalo on Catalina Island is a special thing. So back in the early 1900s, Wrigley from Wrigley Fields, the baseball person and the gum person, he owned the island, and he imported some buffalo. He imported like 10 buffalo, but those have multiplied, and now there's like thousands of buffalo on Catalina Island, and they have a tour where you can go see that. So that would be one tour that I would suggest for Catalina Island. And then in Ensenada, I don't think you need a tour. If you're looking for an excursion, the Bufadora is okay. I kind of think that the Bufadora, basically it's a blowhole, and it's kind of a tourist trap. I think you can just walk around Ensenada on your own and find lots of places. Ensenada is also a good place that if you don't want to have to pay the expensive prices for a massage on the Carnival Cruise, you can pay for it a lot cheaper in Ensenada. You can book ahead. Suggestion would be Ensenada. There's one called Massage and Facial Care in Ensenada. Put a link to that in the description. Massage and Facial Care, they're friends of mine. If you tell them that John sent you and you book an hour or more, they will give you an extra 10 minutes because I've helped them out. You can say, John Pedroza from PedrozaTravels sent me, and I want an extra 10 minutes on my massage. The owner, his name's Dean. He's a good guy. He will honor that. So just tell him that John from PedrozaTravels sent you. They got cheap prices. They're like a third of the cruise ship prices. But I will say, since I was in a Cloud 9 suite, I did get to see the suite, the spa area of the cruise ship, and it's pretty cool. The best part, they have a fitness center, but hello, look at me. I really didn't go to the fitness center much. But I did see it because it was part of the thing that was included. But for what was most beneficial was the thermal suite. Those thermal chairs, they're awesome. They rock. So in conclusion, What would I say about the Carnival Radiance? I think the Carnival Radiance, their refurb was a hit. It was a successful refurb. The $200 million that they spent on this refurb was very well done. I didn't come into this cruise ship with high expectations because it was a cheap vacation. Where else are you going to get all the food you want, 3 nights of lodging, and Broadway style entertainment for $150? You're only going to find that on the Carnival Radiance or a Carnival ship. Maybe on the East Coast they have those. I know they have cheap cruises on the East Coast. But on the West Coast we have them too. So I think if you go into it knowing that you're not looking for a high fancy experience, then you're going to have fun on the Carnival Radiance. If you're going to the Carnival Radiance thinking that you're going to get a sophisticated, elegant cruise, you went to the wrong place. We'll see, like I said, a lot of children, a lot of first-time cruisers, and a lot of people like myself that are just locals and looking for a quick getaway, and that's okay too. So I hope that you enjoyed this little tour of the Carnival Radiance as we looked through the ship and I showed you around some of the great places to see. If you did, please give this video a like and please subscribe. I'm going for that 1,000 subscribers and I'd love to have you on the trip. We don't do just cruising here. We do all sorts of travel adventures because remember, adventure is out there. Thank you for watching.